Hi, my name is Ashiya and I'm a mat Pilates teacher from Manchester, and this video is a beginner progressions class. So it's a continuation of my beginner Pilates session, which had lots and lots of very foundational setup work. So lots of chatting through the cueing and form. This session we're going to do all the same work, but more, and it's going to be more flowy, more dynamic, move through the whole thing with less of the sort of focus on the beginning on that setup. There'll still be loads of cueing, there'll still be loads of detail, making sure that you're kind of working effectively. But yeah, it's going to be a full blast session. So without further ado, we'll just get into it. So we'll begin standing. If you want to come to the top of your mat, we'll just start with a couple of roll downs. So want your feet directly underneath your hips, toes pointing forward, feet are parallel to one another. And when I say hips, I mean hip bones, hands. If you bring the hands to the hip bones, narrower than you think. Arms down by the sides of the body, palms are lightly touching the sides of the hips. We're not holding, just lightly grazing. Staring straight ahead, crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, begin to nod the chin. Start to roll down, peeling down one vertebra at a time from the upper back and the mid back. Allowing the knees to softly bend as we roll through the lower back, trying to keep the pelvis over the feet. Inhale at the bottom. Draw your abdominals up here. Make sure the crown of the head is dropping to the floor. And then exhale. Begin to roll up through the lower back, pulling the abdominals up as we roll all the way up to standing. It should feel like a lovely back stretch. Inhale at the top and exhale, rolling down. Peeling down one vertebra at a time. Again, just softly bending through the knees. And really maximise that back stretch at the bottom. Really think about pulling the centre of the back up to the ceiling. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone. Roll up through the lower back first. Tuck the tailbone as you lift, stack the spine until you're vertical at the top. Inhale and exhale. Peeling down. Notice where you feel a bit tense, where you feel tight, maybe where one side is tighter than the other. Inhale at the bottom, and then we're going to bring the hands down behind us and come down to seated. And then from here we're going to transition straight to our backs. Sitting nice and tall, bring out the arms in front, palms are facing one another. Hands are shoulder width, shoulder height. Take an inhale. Exhale, keep the shoulders over the pelvis as you round through the spine. And then begin to roll back, bringing the lower back down first, keeping the arms parallel to the mat. And then bring the arms down to the sides of the body. Head down, shoulders down, and bring the feet just a little closer here. So we're going to go straight into the pelvic curl. Feet and knees are hip width apart. Arms are pressing down, shoulders are pressing down, palms are down. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Use the lower abdominals to curl the tailbone up, pressing the abdominals down into the mat. And then use the feet, use the hamstrings, inner thighs, glutes to peel the spine away from the mat, one vertebra at a time until we're in our pelvic curl position. Hold at the top. Check that the ribs aren't popping. Drop the ribs. See if you can find any more lift in the pelvis by really using the glutes, the hamstrings. Tuck that tailbone. Use those lower abdominals. Create that curl. And then exhale. Roll down. Keeping the pubic bone to nose sensation the whole way down, and then release at the bottom. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, initiate the movement by tucking the tailbone first, and then press up, lifting. Nice and straight from shoulder to knee. Inhale. And then exhale, keeping that curl through the lower spine, all the way down. Feel a sense of elongation through the back, right until the point where you relax the tailbone down. Inhale, and then exhale. And as you're lifting, just be really mindful that you're pressing the weight through the insides of the feet, the outsides, the big toe, right down to the heel. Concentrate the weight particularly on the arches on the insides to avoid rolling out. Inhale at the top to hold, and then exhale, keeping the tailbone tucked. Roll all the way down to neutral. And we're going to stay up with the next one. Inhale at the bottom to prepare. Exhale, tuck, use the lower abdominals, and then peel the spine away until you feel stable. Really think about the arms, the shoulders pressing down, drop the ribs down, bring the hands to the top of the hips and just check that they're level. See if you can find a little bit more lift in the pelvis by squeezing the glutes. And then also just check that the knees haven't opened out wide. If they have, bring them back in line with the hip bones. You should feel everything really switch on. We're going to go into shoulder bridge prep. Transfer the weight to your left leg. The right leg is going to come into tabletop. 90-degree angle in the knee joint, toe pointed. We're going to inhale, tap that right toe down without changing the angle of the knee. Exhale to lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale to lift. Keep thinking pubic bone to nose and lift. 2 more. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Hold it here. Bring that right foot down. Stabilize through the center. Check that the hips are still nice and level. Right leg takes the weight. Left leg lifts to tabletop. Inhale, tap the left toe down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. And 3, and lift, and 4, and lift, and 5, lift, hold it, left foot down, stabilize, check that you can find maybe a little bit more lift in the pelvis again, really think about that pubic bone to nose sensation, and then exhale, lower all the way down, really elongate the back as you lower and relax the tailbone at the last moment. And then open out the arms wide to a T position, palms facing the ceiling, shoulders connected into the back. We're going to go into spine twist supine. Deepen the abdominals, lift the right leg to tabletop, so knees over hip, foot is in line with knee, and then left leg comes up, join them together. Really, really squeeze the legs together at the center here. And just like I said yesterday, think about them as one unit. We're not going to move out of position. And then from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to rotate the legs over to the right. Left side of the pelvis lifts. Ribs are drawing down. Left shoulder blade stays connected down to the mat. And then exhale, use your obliques, your side of the waist on the left. Draw everything back to the center. And inhale over to the left. And exhale back. And inhale over to the right. Try to avoid arching the back. Exhale back. And inhale over to the left. And exhale back. 2 more each way. Inhale over to the right. Keeping it contained is better here. And inhale over to the left. Drawing the ribs down, keeping the knees level, keeping the opposite shoulder blade down. Exhale back. 1 more each way. Inhale over to the right, and just be mindful that the knees don't come closer to you, they don't move further away. Exhale back. Last one, inhale over to the left, and exhale back. Bring the left foot down, bring the right foot down. Make sure the knees and feet are back to that hip width distance that we have for pelvic curl. And then circle the arms around behind the head, interlace the fingers. We're going to create a little basket of support for the back of the head here. Elbows are wide, but they are lifted away from the mat in your peripheral vision. Relax the tailbone down. Inhale, prepare. We're going to exhale, keeping the head relaxed back into the hands. We're going to flex up through the upper spine, lifting behind the shoulder blades. The head just follows the line of the spine into our chest lift. Gazing to the top of the thighs, inhale to hold. And then exhale, peel back down, one vertebra at a time. And release at the bottom. Inhale and exhale. Lift. Inhale at the top and exhale to lower. Back down with control. And again, inhale, exhale. Really deepening the abdominals as you lift, trying to avoid groping the hip flexors. Inhale at the top and exhale to lower. And as we go through both ranges of motion, we keep the elbows locked in position. Inhale, exhale, lift. So as we're lifting, we don't let the elbows wrap in. We keep them just in our peripheral vision. Inhale, hold. And exhale, peel back down. I'm going to stay up with the next one to go into rotation. Inhale at the bottom to prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale at the top to hold. Bring the hands behind the thighs. Use your arms. See if you can find a little bit more lift here. We want lift behind the shoulder blades. Again, just make sure you're not pulling the neck down into the chin. And then when you feel semi-stable, bring the hands back behind the head. Relax the tailbone down. Elbows in your peripheral vision. We're going to rotate. Exhale, rotate to the right. Center of the chest is going to reach up towards the point. So we're rotating to just past the outside of the right thigh. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Right shoulder blade lifts a little higher. And inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. And inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. And inhale to the center. Two more each way. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. Last set. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. And exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. And exhale, peel all the way down. Bring the arms down by the sides of the body, palms down, shoulders relaxed. You'll be pleased to know that that one doesn't ever feel any easier. We're going to do single leg lift, which wasn't in the last session, so this is a new one. Keep the left foot down. The right leg is going to lift to tabletop. So knee over hip, foot in line with knee. The right foot is pointed. 90-degree angle in the knee joint. This is important. Bring the hands just gently. Let's just say one hand actually. Keep your left hand down. Let's bring the right hand just to the thigh. And so to initiate this movement, we're going to take an exhale. We're going to inhale. The right toe is going to tap down, but that movement is going to happen from the hip socket. So the thigh is going to move away. You're going to feel with your right hand the thigh lowering and lifting. Exhale back up. Inhale, tap down. Exhale up. So we're not bending more at the knee to make this happen. Inhale, tap down. Exhale up. Bring the right hand down. We'll do two more without it. Inhale, tap. Exhale up. Last one. Inhale, tap. Exhale up. And then bring the left toe to the mat. We're going to switch legs. Right leg comes down, right foot comes down, left leg is now in tabletop. Exactly the same thing. Just have the hand lightly touching the left thigh. Think about this knee joint angle. We want this to stay exactly locked in position. We're going to inhale, tap the left toe down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. And 3. And lift. And 4. And lift. Bring the hand down for the last one. 5. And lift. And then from here, the right toe is going to point on the mat. We're going to do leg changes, exactly the same motion, but both legs are going to be moving at the same time. So both hands pressing down into the mat here. Think about keeping these angles in both the knees. We're going to inhale, switch, and tap, and switch, and switch, and switch. And we're going to go 8, and 8, 7, and 7, 6, and 6, 5, and 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, keeping everything else really nice and stable. 1 and 1, right foot down, left leg's lifted. And then just bring the left knee into the chest for a moment. We're going to straighten the right leg out. Just get a bit of a hip flexor stretch here. So just open that knee wide, stretch it out towards the left armpit. Because in a moment we're going to do leg circles, which is another new one after the first session. So have a moment and then bring the arms back to the sides of the body. Bring that left leg back to tabletop. So again, knee over hip, foot in line with knee. Arms are straight, palms are down, shoulders are pressing into the mat. From here, we're going to straighten the left leg. We ideally want a straight leg with the foot directly over the hip. If that's not possible for you, have a bend in the knee, but just ensure the heel is over the pelvis, so the knee will just come closer to you. So rather than being there, I'd rather you be here. Otherwise, we're here. The left foot is going to flex, so heel up to the ceiling. We're going to imagine there's a paintbrush coming out of the top of the heel. So again, even if you're here, the heel is pointing to the ceiling. Leg circles. We're going to inhale to circle the leg across the body, around and back up with a drop and catch motion. And exhale, around and back up. And inhale, and exhale. 2 more in this direction. Inhale, and exhale. Hold it there. Bring your hands to the top of the hips for the second side. We're going to reverse it. And just think about really keeping the pelvis stable. So reduce the size of the circle if you need to. We're going to reverse the direction. Inhale away from the body, around and back up. And exhale. And inhale. So we don't want the pelvis rocking around. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it at the top. Left toe points to the ceiling. Bring that left leg to tabletop. Straighten it out on the mat. And bring the arms down by the sides of the body. So you do that exercise with your hands down, but I thought it would be helpful just to have a bit of feedback and see what your pelvis was doing. So palms down, right leg to tabletop. In fact, no, we'll get that stretch in first. Sorry, excuse me. Hands around the right knee. Just stretch it in. Pull it into the right armpit. Have a couple of breaths here. Should feel nice. And then when you're ready, gently guide it back to tabletop. Bring the arms back down to the sides of the body. Straighten that right leg. Again, only as far as you can keep the foot over the hip. So again, if you need to have a bend here, that's fine. Flex the foot. And let's start with the hands on the pelvis with this side. So bring the hands to the bony protrusions of the front of your pelvis, the hip bones. We're going to inhale, circle the legs across the body, around and back up. And exhale. And inhale, pausing at the top of each one. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it here. We reverse it. But now let's release the hands down. Try to keep the pelvis really stable. Inhale away from the body, around and back up. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it at the top. Point that right toe. Bring the leg back to tabletop. Straighten it out on the mat. Legs are glued together. Toes are pointed. We're going to go straight into the full roll up. If it's not quite working for you, feel free to go and check out the other video and look at some of the modifications that you can get to. But the full version, we have the legs glued together, the toes are pointed, arms are overhead, the palms are facing one another. And just check that the ribs aren't flaring in this position. So if they are, just lift the arms a little higher. Really think about pulling the abdominals down. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up and overhead, neck chest follow. So we're in this chest lift position. Hands are in line with the shoulders. looking down to kind of about our toes. And then exhale, rounding up, trying to keep the shape in the spine until we come to our C curve at the top. So really actively working here in this position, fingertips reaching long, center of the back is pulling backwards, abdominals are drawing in, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, and then exhale. Really pull the pubic bone up to nose as you lower. Use the lower abdominals. Try to bring the lower back down. First, hold as the mid back comes down, and then arms up and over. And again, inhale, arms over, head, neck, chest. Exhale, tuck, and roll up. And as you're at the top, you want the shoulders just slightly over the line of your hips, looking down to your knees. The head is in line with the spine, with this C curve. Inhale, hold, and then exhale, tuck the tailbone, roll up. Keep the hands in line with the shoulders as you're lowering down. So roll down, not roll up, and arms up and over. 2 more. Inhale, arms over, head, neck, chest. Exhale, rolling up. And if you're finding with this that you're getting stuck coming up, feel free to have bent knees, feet planted down. Feel free to use your arms and hands to help you up. Inhale to hold at the top, and then exhale. Pubic bone to nose, rolling down, really nice and control here. Arms overhead, head comes down. Last one. Inhale. The shape in the spine that we've got here, we want to keep it. So what the head's doing, what the neck's doing, try to keep everything intact until you come up. Inhale to hold. And then exhale, lowering back down. 1 vertebra at a time, holding. And then arms up and over. And then circle the arms around to the sides of the body. Just going to scooch down a little bit. We are going to go into 100 prep, but I just wanted to give a moment. So we've got the arms down by your sides, press the arms into the mat, press the hands down into the mat. Bring the right leg to tabletop, deepen your abdominals. Bring the left leg up to join it. So now we're going to have a slight tuck in the tailbone. And then we want the knees over the hips, feet in line with the knees, glued together at the center. When you feel nice and stable, the arms are going to come overhead, palms facing the ceiling. Again, being careful not to pop the ribs here. Inhale, prepare. We exhale, arms come up and overhead, neck, chest. Follow, palms down, hands in line with the shoulders. Inhale, keep the lift in the torso, bringing just the arms up to a high diagonal and everything back over. And exhale to lift. Keeping the legs dead still in space. Inhale, arms up and back over. And exhale to lift. Inhale, lifting the arms and back. 3 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lift the arms and back over. And exhale to lift. Keeping the shoulders down, keeping the gaze just to the top of the thighs as you come up, making sure there's space underneath the chin. This is the last one. Inhale, arms up, and everything back down. And then circle the arms around, hands on top of the knees, elbows wide, just rock side to side for a moment. I'm going to introduce another couple of new exercises. So, have a breath. So legs are glued together, the knees are in your chest. We're going to go into double leg stretch and single leg stretch. So elbows are wide. You're really going to use your arms here. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to press the hands into the knees into the hands, lift up. Until the chest is lifted. Again, we're gazing to the top of the thighs. The knees are slightly in over that 90-degree angle this time, so they're just a tiny bit closer to the torso. Shins are parallel to the mat. Hands are holding actively onto the top of the knees. Keep this shape in the torso, keep the lift behind the shoulder blades. Don't let the head drop. We're going to inhale, legs straighten away as the arms circle round, hands touch behind. Exhale, close back to the start position. Legs stay glued together. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Inhale to open, exhale to close. And we want to try and have the feet travel on the same horizontal plane as they open out and back. Inhale, open, exhale, close. One more, inhale, open, exhale, close, hold it, and release all the way down. Got a bit of cramp in my left calf, that's fun and quite odd. And then we're going to go back up into single leg stretch. Same setup, so hands are on top of the knees, elbows are wide, legs are glued together to begin. Inhale, exhale, press up. So in a more intermediate class, you would go straight from double leg stretch to single leg stretch, but I just wanted to give you the opportunity to rest the head. Take both hands around the right knee, outside hand on top of inside hand. Again, really actively using the hands here. Left leg's going to straighten, we want the toes on the same line. Elbows wide. Same with the double leg stretch, the torso stays up. We inhale, let go, exhale, switch legs. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. And we go 4 and 4, gazing to the top of the knees. And 3, 2, and 2. 1 and 1. Both knees back in. Inhale, exhale, lower. All the way back down. And then bring the feet down to the mat. We're now going to do the 400. So straight into it today. Arms down by the sides of the body. Deepen the abdominals. Lift the right leg to tabletop. Knee over hip. Foot in line with knee. I'll keep repeating myself, but it's worth checking in. Left leg comes up. Glue them together. Stuck together at the center. We're going to do 50 with legs in tabletop, and then I'm going to offer you the opportunity to do the final 50 straight legs. So arms are going to come up and over, palms are to the ceiling, ribs not popping down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift up, just like with 100 prep a moment ago. Palms are down. You're going to stay nice and stable in the torso, gazing just to the center of the thighs. We're going to inhale, exhale, start pumping the arms up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Keep this torso as stable as possible. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Pause. Either stay here or straighten the legs on a diagonal. 50 more. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 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 Last set. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Hold it. Legs back to tabletop. Inhale, lift just the arms up to a high diagonal. And everything back down. Knees into the chest. Hands on the knees, circle around, have a rock. Side to side. And then from here, press into the knees, rock up to seated. So we're going to go into rolling like a ball. Feet are going to come in close to the glutes, hands around the ankles. No setup prep today, or no prep today. We always do the setup. So legs really squeezing together at the center. Elbows wide but down. And then finding this C-curve shape through the spine here. So gazing down at the knees, we're going to point the toes. Sit behind the sit bones to be able to hover the feet. And then we're going to inhale, tuck the tailbone, roll to the base of the shoulder blades, exhale up to balance. Inhale, tuck and roll, exhale up. And not let the head come down as we roll back. And inhale, roll, exhale up. Inhale, roll, exhale up. We're going to do 4 more. Inhale, roll, exhale up. And 3, and up. And 2, and up. Try not to let the toes come down like mine just did. Last one, and up. And then place the feet down for a moment. Now going to build on that. So there's another rolling exercise called open leg rocker, which it basically involves doing rolling like a bull, but with straight legs, with your hands around the ankles up here. We're going to do a modified version of that. Same sort of principle of movement with the rolling. So bring your hands to the outsides of your ankles. Hold firmly onto the ankles. And then we're going to lift the right leg up. So the shin is parallel to the mat. Right arm is straight. Really, really working to keep that right arm straight. Keep that shoulder connected into the mat. So if we let the right arm go floppy, it's going to be a lot harder. And then the left hand is around the left ankle. Again, we open the left leg. So we want the knees and feet to be hip width here, maybe a tiny bit wider, but not squeezed together like rolling like a ball. So in the top of this position, we want to think lifting up tall through the spine. So when we did teaser prep in the last session, it's kind of similar, but we're doing a rocking. So lifting up at the top, really elongating. To begin the movement, it's the same as rolling like a ball. We're going to inhale to tuck the tailbone, roll to the base of the shoulder blades, exhale up to balance and lift at the top. And inhale, tuck, and exhale, lift. And inhale, tuck, exhale, lift. And really use the arms and the back. Inhale, and exhale. 3 more. Inhale, and exhale, and 2, inhale, and exhale, last one, inhale, and don't worry if you end up rolling all about with this one. Hold at the top. I want you to just have a play, seeing what it feels like to straighten the legs. So maybe just bring the right leg up to straight and bend it back. And then the left leg up to straight and bend it back. You could do this with the toes down, a bit more support. So bend and back, straighten and back, straighten and down. Let's do one more each way like this. And down, and straighten, and down. And then I'm not going to make you roll, but I'd like you to play with lifting both legs straight. Don't worry if it doesn't happen. We only get there by trying things. So right leg straightens, left leg straightens, and I'm going to get you to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring the feet down to the mat. Soles of the feet together. Just fold forward for a moment. Have a bit of a stretch here. And then before we go into the next exercise, I'm just going to get us to quickly do spine stretch because it's delicious and just, it's really good. So sitting really nice and tall here, shoulders directly over the pelvis, as straight a back as possible. Really flexing through the feet, so pushing the heels here. Imagine the feet are pressing against a wall. Arms out in front, palms are facing one another. Shoulders connected into the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to nod the chin and begin to roll forward and down through the spine, moving through the upper back, then the mid back. And as we get to the lower back, we can then tilt the pelvis to find a bit more range. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, rolling up through the lower back, then the mid back, then the upper back, lifting at the top. Inhale and exhale. Peeling through, really, really finding that articulation through the spine. Inhale at the bottom and exhale, rolling up. In the next exercise, I'm going to get us to do a prep for the roll over, which is another spinal articulation exercise, so it's helpful to do this. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, hold at the bottom, and then exhale, peeling back up. One vertebra at a time, all the way up to the top. And then just shake it out through the shoulders. It can get quite taxing on the shoulders, holding them there. Bring the legs together, Point the toes. We're going to find our C curve like at the top of the roll up. So bring the arms out in front, palms facing one another. Really sitting in our C curve here, working in this position. Inhale, and then exhale. We're going to roll down, just like we do with the roll up, all the way. Just bring the arms to the sides of the body with this one though. Hold in the chest for a moment and then release. Head down, arms down. And now we are going to do the roll over prep. So the roll over is an inversion. So where your legs end up over your head. We're not going to do the full thing today. This is just something that's going to prepare you to get into it. So draw the abdominals down, bring the right leg to tabletop. And then the left leg to tabletop, glue them together. Again, as always, just check the angles, check that the knees are over the hips. Hands down by the sides of the body. We're going to really use the back of our arms and our upper back here. Okay. We're going to exhale to straighten the legs away to about a 60-degree angle. We're going to inhale to lift the legs up, the squeeze together to 90-degree angle. So the toes are pointing to the ceiling. And now we're going to exhale. We're going to press into the arms to lift the hips. Try to use our lower abdominals, and we're just going to lift them up. And then we're going to try to roll back down with control, point as toes to the ceiling, away to 60. And inhale up, exhale, hold up just to this point. Inhale, allow the spine to roll down. And then exhale away to 60. 4 more. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale, use the lower abdominals to lift the hips. Inhale, roll the spine down, one bone at a time. Straighten away to 60. Hold the legs so straight the whole time. 2, 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale, lift the hips. Really find that work through the lower abdominals. Inhale, roll the spine down to the mat. And away to 60. Up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift. Inhale, roll back down. Toes point to the ceiling. Away to 60 with an exhale. Let's make this the last one. Inhale, up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift the hips. Really try to slow it down as you do this last lower down to the mat. Roll down. Toes point to the ceiling. Exhale, away to 60. And bring the knees in and have a rock side to side. So in my intermediate class, I'll be looking at the full rollover. So that's just kind of finding that work that's needed in the lower abdominals to make it happen. So when you're ready, rock up to seated. And because we did it in the last session, I said we would do everything. We're going to do teaser prep. So hands behind the knees, elbows are wide. We're just going to do 4. Legs are glued together now. We're going to lift the right leg so that the shin is parallel to the mat. And the left leg is going to come up and join it. We're going to balance and we're going to go straight into the full thing, so not using the hands for support. We're going to release the arms. Palms are facing inwards. Arms are in line with the shins. We're going to tuck the tailbone, exhale. Keep the arms parallel to the mat. Keep the legs dead still in space. Roll just to the point where you can control it. Inhale up to balance and lift at the top. And again, exhale, lower. And inhale to lift. 2 more. Exhale, lower. And inhale to lift. You might have guessed it from the name, but this is a preparation to get into the teaser. Exhale, lower. And inhale to lift. And for a surprise, I thought we'd get into the teaser shape. So from here, I want you to bring the arms up to the sides of the ears, palms to the ceiling. And if you feel brave, you're now going to straighten the legs up and you're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back. Mine were just shaking. And then bring the feet down, soles of the feet together. Fold forward. Have a bit of a rock side to side here. It feels good. And then when you're ready, cross the legs, hands in front of the knees, transition to 4-point kneeling. If like me, you just need to pull your leggings up, do it. Like I'm constantly just messing with my leggings. Apologies. Hands are underneath the shoulders. We're going to go straight into front support, exactly like we did in the first beginner class. So we want a straight back here, neck's in line with the spine, actively pressing into the hands and the shoulders here, not sinking into the shoulder blades. So really press to lift here, stable through the upper back. Knees are directly underneath the pelvis, and the pelvis is stable, hips are square. The right toe are going to tuck, the right leg's going to straighten, and the right toes are going to tuck. Keep the pelvis exactly where it is, left leg goes out as well. Feet are hip width. Hold everything really stable. The right knee is going to bend in with an exhale. The knee is going to softly come in along the mat and inhale to straighten back. Left leg, exhale in and inhale back. Right and back and left and back. Right and back, left and back, and keep drawing the abdominals up. Keep checking that the pelvis hasn't lifted or dropped, and don't let the head lift or lower. Just keep it in line with the spine. One more each side, right and back and left and back. Hold it there. Hold the hips or pull the hips up to the ceiling. Stretch it out. Have a couple of steps through. Stretch through the calves and the feet. And then soft bend in the knees. Either walk or jump to the front of the mat, exactly like we did in the other class. Come to sit on your glutes. You're going to bring the legs out straight in front of you. Feet and legs are separated to hip width. Hands are just going to be behind the shoulders, fingertips pointing towards the toes. Soft bend in the elbows here to begin. Take an inhale, straighten the arms. The breastbone is going to be pointing to a high diagonal upwards. Let the head follow the line of the spine through this whole exercise. It's going to feel like you're artificially lifted, but go with it. Inhale. Exhale, press into the hands, squeeze the glutes, lift until we're in a straight line from head to toe. Really find that tuck through the tailbone. Keep the arms straight as we inhale, tap the hips down, exhale, lift. Inhale, tap, exhale, lift. And 3, and lift. And 4, and lift. And 5, and lift. Hold it at the top. Inhale, exhale, release the hips down. And then only when the hips are down, then allow the elbows to bend and shake it out through the wrists. And then from there, we're going to go into side work. So we're going to begin with side lifts like we did in the first class. So straight line from head to toe, legs are glued together, bottom arm is extended long underneath with the palm facing the ceiling. And then have the knees pointing forwards, top hip stacked directly above the bottom hip, not tilting back, not leaning forward. Check that the legs are the same length as well, so the top hip isn't pushing away. Top hand planted down. There's a lot of chat, sorry. Inhale here, legs are glued together. We're going to hover the legs about an inch off the mat. Exhale, use your obliques at the top of the waist to lift the legs up higher. Inhale down to hover. Exhale to lift. As you lift, the lower side of your waist should press down into the mat. Inhale down to hover. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. This looks like a leg exercise, but it's really an abdominal exercise. Inhale down. 5, 4, I think this is 4, and down. 5, down, we'll go to 6, 6, and down, all the way down. And then from there, we're going to do side kick. So you're going to come up onto your forearm. So the full version of this exercise, you're balancing on the bottom elbow. For the sake of simplicity today, we're going to just do it on the forearm because it's still tough. Still hard work, you'll be glad to know. So you want your elbow directly underneath the shoulder. You're going to really press into the shoulder and the forearm here to lift. So we want the torso lifted, we're not sinking down. It's really important. Bottom palm is planted down. want a straight line from head through to the centre of the pelvis here. And then the top hand is going to be behind the ear, fingertips just lightly touching the ear here. Top leg lifts to hip height. We're going to flex the foot, keep the torso, keep all of this as stable as you possibly can. We're going to exhale, kick the leg forward, double pulse. Inhale, point the toe, kick back, double pulse. Flexing forward, exhale. Inhale, back pointing. Flexing forward, pointing back. Exhale forward, inhale back. And the aim here is to try and not move through the torso. And pointing back. 3 more sets, flexing forward, pointing back, and 2, and back, and 1, and back. Bring that top leg back to meet the bottom one. Bend the knees, and just turn around onto your back. Before we go on to side 2, I'm going to introduce another new thing. We're going to do corkscrew. So, actually keep the feet bent. Arms are straight down at the sides of the body. Palms are down. I'm going to lift the right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop, glue them together. From here, really using the shoulders, the arms, we're going to straighten the legs up so the feet are directly over the hips. Again, if you need a soft bend here, that's fine, but keep the feet over the hips. Toes are pointed, legs are glued together at the centre. We're going to inhale, rotate the legs over to the right. So it's like a bigger version of spine twist supine. Left side of the pelvis lifts. We exhale, rotate the legs away, down, over to the left, and back to the centre. Inhale, over to the left. Exhale, circle down, around, and back. Inhale, over to the right. Exhale, circle down, around, and back. Inhale to the left. Exhale, down, around, and back. I'm going to do 1 more each way. Inhale to the right. Exhale, down, around, and back. And last, inhale to the left. Exhale, circle down, around, and back. Bring the knees in. Rock up to seated. Swivel the legs around to the other side. Side 2, side work. So begin with side lifts again. So bottom arm is extended long underneath. Legs are dead straight, they're glued together. Knees are pointing forward. Top hand planted down for support here. Ear is resting on the long arm underneath. Inhale, hover the legs just an inch. Exhale, press to lift higher. So we're using the obliques. Inhale, down to hover. Exhale to lift. Inhale, down. And exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. And 2. And lift. And 1. And lift. And then let the legs come all the way down. Press yourself up to your forearm. Same thing, side kick. So bottom elbow directly underneath the shoulder, palm pressing down, lift up here. So really thinking about this line from head through to the torso. Top hand behind the head, top leg lifts to hip height, flex the foot, and we exhale to kick forward. Inhale, point back. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, point back. And 3, and back, and 4, and back. I think I did 8 sets on the other side. 5, and back, and 6, and back. Those Pilates teachers are terrible at counting. And back, 7, and back, and 8, and back. Bring that top leg in line with the bottom one, lower it down. And then from here, we're going to finish with some back extension work. So we'll do the same back extension, basic back extension we did yesterday, and then we're going to add in a couple of other things. So, simple back extension. You're lying on your front, legs are squeezing together, toes are pointed. You're going to have your arms down by the sides of the body, Palms are lightly holding the sides of the hips. Arms and hands are, well, hands are obviously straight. Arms are straight. Arms and hands are lifted away from the mat. So think about reaching the fingertips to the toes. Press the pubic bone down into the mat here. You're going to exhale, prepare. Face is hovering about an inch off the mat. You're looking down to the mat. Inhale to lift the upper back. Thinking breastbone forward. The head just follows the line of the spine. Gazing just to the top of the mat. Keep the bottom rib connected down. And exhale to lower. So it's just pure upper back, this. Inhale to lift. Fingertips reach to the toes. And exhale to lower. Keep the hands close to the sides of the body. And inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. One more. Inhale to lift. And exhale, lower. All the way down. Bring the hands in front of the shoulders. Just press into the forearms to press back into a rest position. So sitting over the heels. Reach your fingertips long in front of you. Just get a good stretch out through the back here. Have a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, come back onto your front. We're going to do single leg kick and double leg kick. So, single leg kick. You want the legs and feet to be narrow. Sense of squeezing together, not necessarily squeezing, but close. And then you want your elbows directly underneath your shoulders here. Fingers are interlaced at the centre of the mat. So you're creating like a little support here, like a little tripod. And then from here, watch as I do this. First of all, pubic bone down into the mat. So I'm really engaging the lower abdominals. See that shift. And then I'm going to really press into the shoulders, press into the elbows. So I'm trying to pull the abdominals away. I'm trying to reach my breastbone forward. I'm gazing straight ahead. Sitting in this position, well, it's not really sitting, being in this position is hard work. This feels tough. Legs are going to hover. So we're really using the back chain of muscles in the legs. Keep the position in the torso. We're going to exhale to kick the right foot towards the glute twice. 1, 2, and switch left. 1, 2. And then we inhale, 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 exhale, 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 exhale. Keep pressing through the shoulders. Keep thinking breastbone forward. And try to minimize the amount of rocking through the torso. Keep the legs hovering as they go out straight. And left, and right, and left. 3 more sets. And left, and 2, and 2, and 1, and 1. Hover both legs. Lower the legs down. Lower the chest down. If you're doing that one right, it should feel like hard work. If you're sinking into your shoulder blades and letting your abdominals flop, it feels kind of easy. So check in with yourself. Interlace the fingers at the centre of the back. Elbows come down to the sides of the mat here. Ideally, you want your elbows down to the mat. Bring your right cheek down. Legs are going to glue together here now, so they're going to act as one. Again, in this position, press the pubic bone down, and now hover the legs away from the mat. We're going to exhale to kick the feet towards the glutes 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, the legs straight and back to that hover as the chest lifts. Arms reach behind, fingertips, the hands clasped, reach towards the toes, gazing straight ahead. As we exhale, the left cheek comes down, we kick in. 1, 2, 3. Inhale to lift. Maximising that back extension at the top. Exhale, kick. 1, 2, 3. Inhale to lift. So we're alternating the cheek that comes down every time. Left cheek. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. 1 more each side. Exhale, right cheek. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left cheek. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, lift. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All the way down. And same thing, just press back into a rest position again. Reaching the fingertips long in front of you. And just have a couple of moments here. And then when you're ready, coming back onto your front, one final thing. Swan dive prep. So hands are in front of the shoulders, forearms are down, elbows are down, forearms are in line with the sides of the mat. Looking down to the mat here, face is hovering just an inch or so. Squeeze the glutes, press the pubic bone down into the mat. Legs are close to one another. We're going to exhale, prepare. Inhale, we're going to press into the forearms to begin to lift just the upper back. Head only comes in line with the spine. When you get to the extent of your range there, then begin to straighten the arms, only to the point where you can keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, lower. Allow the elbows to come down first before the spine comes down. Lowering with control, so we're really resisting on the way down. And again, inhale, press into the forearms. And straighten. Should feel like a lot of work being up at the top. And then exhale, really resist as you lower. Try to avoid collapsing on the way down. 2 more. Inhale, press into the forearms. Keep that head in line with the spine. Don't let it overextend at the top or drop at the bottom. And then exhale to lower. Back down. The legs will naturally separate as you come up. Don't worry about it. Just try to bring them back together as you come back down. Last one. Inhale. Upper back extension, elbows down, and then straight. Hold it here. And then exhale to release. All the way down. 1 vertebra at a time. Bring the head down. And another rest position. So sitting over the heels, fingertips reaching long. Drop the head in between their arms. And just have a few breaths here. And then to finish, I'd normally finish with back extension, but we've got a couple of minutes. So I thought I would introduce a bit of a funny one. It's a rolling exercise. It's called Seal Puppy. So same with rolling like a ball. We'll get into it the same way, sort of. Have the feet together, knees apart. Bring the hands through the center of the thighs and then wrap them round so that the hands are now holding the outsides of the feet. So you're going to feel all knotted up. From here, just actively hold onto the feet and just bring the feet closer to you so you now can sit behind your sit bones. And then, like we did with teaser prep and open leg rocker prep, you're going to lift up until the shins are parallel to the mat. The feet are going to be together. All we're going to do today is a prep for this. So we're just going to roll in this position. We're not going to do the full thing, because I think that's a bit much at this stage. So we're going to basically do rolling like a ball, but in this position. We're going to just do 4 reps and then the cross is done. So tuck the tailbone. We're going to inhale. Roll to the base of the shoulder blades, exhale up to balance. Inhale, tuck and roll, exhale up. Oof. So you're really trying to press the arms and thighs against one another. And otherwise, just keep in that ball shape. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, tuck. And exhale, roll. And then bring the 1 foot down, other foot down. The soles of the feet together and fold forward and just butterfly the knees here. Just have a good stretch through the hip flexors. Have a couple of breaths. And then just to finish, properly finish, cross the feet, cross the legs. Interlace the fingers at the back of the head, elbows wide. We're going to just inhale to really extend the back Reach the elbows even wider, gaze up to the ceiling. And then exhale, fold forward, allow the elbows to wrap in. And inhale, open the elbows wide, allow the upper back to extend, gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, lower. One more each way. Inhale, open. And exhale. Close. Then release the hands. Shake it out. And we're done. I hope that you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, leave me a comment or get in touch. Otherwise, I hope to see you in a session soon. Bye.